Order 66 killed the Jedi Order, but it didn't kill Cal Kestis. For 5 years, he buried his lightsaber, buried his past, and tried to survive as a nobody, hiding in plain sight. But the Empire doesn't forget Jedi, it hunts them. Five years after the fall of the Republic, Cal is hiding on Bracca, scrapping old Clone Wars ships for the Empire. Not exactly the dream career for a former Padawan, but when the alternative is getting hunted by space fascists, you take what you can get. During a salvage job, Cal's friend Prof nearly falls to his death, and Cal instinctively uses the Force to save him. Unfortunately, heroic instincts are terrible when you're trying to stay hidden. An Imperial probe catches everything, and soon the two Jedi hunters arrive, the Ninth Sister and the far more dangerous Second Sister. Prof speaks out against the Empire and is killed for it, forcing Cal to run. He barely escapes before being rescued by Cere Junda, a former Jedi Knight, and Grease Dridus, pilot of the Stinger Mantis. Cere knows what Cal is, and instead of letting him disappear again, she gives him a mission. On Bogano, Cal finds an ancient Zephyl vault and meets BD-1, a tiny droid who immediately becomes the emotional support puppy of the entire game. Good boy. BD plays a message from Cere's old master, Eno Cordova, revealing that inside the vault is a Jedi Holocron containing a list of Force-sensitive children across the galaxy. Cere believes that list could rebuild the Jedi Order. The problem is, the vault can only be opened by following Cordova's trail, so Cal searches through Zephyl ruins in Kashyyyk, where the Wookiees are being enslaved by the Empire. Through Cordova's clues and the Wookiee chieftain Tarful, Cal learns he needs a Zephyl artifact called an Astrium. But before he can reach it, the Second Sister reveals the truth. Her real name is Trilla, and she was once Cere's Padawan. After Order 66, Cere was captured and tortured until she gave Trilla up. Trilla was then broken, twisted, and turned into an Inquisitor.
No.
To Cal, she is not just another villain with a cool helmet, she's living proof of what the Empire does to Jedi who survive. After one bizarre detour where Cal gets kidnapped because Grease owes money to criminals, because of course he does, the search brings him back to Kashyyyk, hot on Cordova's trail. But before he can leave, the Ninth Sister comes crashing back into the story. High above the jungle, Cal faces her on the top of the origin tree. The Ninth Sister is bigger, stronger, and built like she eats Padawans for breakfast, but Cal manages to outfight her and send her plummeting into the forest below. It's the first real sign that Cal is becoming a Jedi again. From there, the trail leads to Dathomir, the ruined home of the Night Sisters, where an entire people were nearly wiped out during the Clone Wars by General Grievous. Cal meets Merrin, one of the last Night Sisters, who blames the Jedi for the massacre of her people. He also meets Taron Malicos, a former Jedi who survived the Purge, but fell to the dark side. Because finding another Jedi survivor in Star Wars is usually not the good news you think it is. On Dathomir, Cal is forced to relive Order 66. He remembers his master, Gerald T'Pol, sacrificing himself as the clones turned against him. The trauma overwhelms Cal so badly that he destroys his lightsaber Kyber crystal, leaving him broken in more ways than one. Back on the Mantis, Cere admits her own shame. After learning what happened to Trilla, she briefly gave in to the dark side and cut herself off from the Force. Both Cal and Cere have been letting the past define them. To rebuild his lightsaber, Cal travels to Ilum, accepts Jaro's death, and returns to Dathomir with a renewed sense of purpose. This time, he defeats Malicos with Merrin's help. Merrin realizes Cal is not responsible for what happened to her people, and she joins the crew. With the Astrium finally in hand, Cal returns to Bogano and opens the vault. Inside, he sees a vision where he rebuilds the Jedi Order and trains the children from the Holocron. At first, it looks like the dream, then it becomes a nightmare. The Empire finds them, the children are hunted, tortured, and destroyed. Cal himself eventually falls. The vision makes one thing horrifyingly clear: finding these children might not save them, it might doom them. Before Cal can act, Trilla attacks and steals the Holocron. Cere reconnects with the Force, knights Cal, and together they infiltrate Fortress Inquisitorius, the Empire's underwater Jedi hunting stronghold. Cal fights through the fortress, defeats Trilla, and recovers the Holocron. Cere reaches her former Padawan, and for one brief moment, it looks like Trilla might actually be saved. Then Darth Vader shows up. And suddenly, this is no longer an action game, it's a horror game.
That doesn't look good.
It isn't. It's him.
Vader kills Trilla for her failure and turns his attention to Cal and Cere. They try to fight him, but there is no winning this. Cere gets thrown aside like a ragdoll. Cal is forced to scramble through the collapsing fortress, and every second makes it clear that this is not a duel, it's an escape sequence. Cere makes one last stand against Vader, and just when it looks like he's about to crush them completely, Cal overloads the fortress glass, flooding the chamber and giving them the only opening they were ever gonna get. With Merrin's help, Cal and Cere barely survive and return to the Mantis. Technically, they won, but after the Vault Vision, Cal understands the truth. Using that list would put those children directly in the Empire's crosshairs. Rebuilding the Jedi Order sounds noble, but dragging kids into another war might be the exact mistake the old Jedi would have made. So Cal destroys the Holocron. The future of the Jedi will not be forced. Those children deserve the chance to live their own lives, away from the Empire, the Inquisitors, and another doomed order trying to rise from the ashes. Cal turns to the crew and asks where they should go next, because he may not be rebuilding the Jedi Order anymore, but he is finally done hiding.